Hey guys, John Cochran here, and today it is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use into my business that you can rip off, duplicate, use into your own business immediately. And on today's episode, I'm in Florida. So I'm in Florida right now, and I thought that I would show you the very first house that I ever flipped. Okay, so this was the number one house before I ever flipped, and this was before I even cared to get into real estate. So if you want to know my story and how I really got into the real estate business, here it is. So I'm driving to the house now. It's a tiny house. So I'm right here in a place in Florida. The bigger city that you might know would be Destin, Florida. But I am right here. This is a little city called Valparaiso, okay? And this was a house on 49 Kelly Way. I'm getting ready to pull into the subdivision right now, and the houses are tiny. So these houses are absolutely tiny. They're pushed together, and this was a property that I got when I was going to school, because many people don't know, but I used to play baseball on a high level, and I came to a college to basically get drafted into Major League Baseball, and I got hurt. Well, while I was going to school, I ended up going through and I had a private lender go through and lend me money to buy this particular property. Okay, now this was before I knew anything about real estate, and here's the property right here. So there's where I used to live, and that is the first property that I ever flipped. 49 Kelly Way in Valparaiso, Florida. So tiny house, but I got to get to the airport too, by the way, so I can't stay there. But what a lot of people don't know about me is that I was really, really good at baseball, and I played on a very, very high level. I was pretty much all Ohio in just about every category you could ever even possibly lead in. I led in, and I had a lot of Major League Baseball scouts after me. You know, the Colorado Rockies, the Los Angeles Dodgers. I had the Pittsburgh Pirates after me. The Marlins, the Florida Marlins, which is now the Miami Marlins. They were wanting me to play for them as well. And I ended up coming down to Florida, Destin, Florida, to go to a little junior college to, really gain a little bit of education, and but more importantly, play baseball. So more importantly, to play baseball, and I ended up doing that, and I got hurt. So I got hurt, literally just about the moment that I came down to Destin. And, basically what ended up going down was I got hurt, and I just had no reason to be in school anymore. I've never kind of really been that school person by any means. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always kind of lived that way, so I had no reason to really move down to stay in Florida, anymore. And, so I moved back to Ohio, but I still owned this property that I got a note on from a private lender who just happened to be into my family. And, so immediately what I wanted to do was I wanted to go through and sell this property. I had no reason to have it, so I just wanted to go home and start working in the construction business, or I wanted to go home and start working in the trucking company business. And I chose the trucking company business because it paid well. Well, to fast forward the story, my mom ended up, who's now my business partner, she ended up, begging me to keep this property, at 49 Kelly Way. And I didn't know why at the time, but she had owned some rentals or whatnot, and I bought that property that I just showed you for $65,000, and I paid retail for it. At the time. And, so I got the note on for $65,000. She says, John, why don't you just go through and just hire a management company to manage that property for you, and then all you have to do is you can just come here, you can start making a little bit of money because the rent's high. There's Eglin Air Force Base, right next door, so you can make a couple $100 and a month maybe, and then you can just that can help you either buy a house in the future or whatnot. So that's what I did. I ended up keeping it, and I hated it. I hated having a rental. I just didn't want it. It was just really itching me to be making a payment. Even though I was making a couple $100s a month off of it, I just didn't want to do it. So this was back in 2002. Okay, so I had just turned 19 years old, and just this week, actually, I turned 30. So that was 11 years ago. And, she begged me to keep this house, so I did. And, fast forward a couple years from there, I just, had some tenants in there, property management company, they weren't taking care of it. So I went down there once the property was vacant again, and I went down there, and the property is trashed. And I was like, what in the hell am I going to do with this? So I ended up going back to that private lender to get them to finance me for another $10,000 to really fix this property up. And they went for it. So now I'm into this property for $75,000. So this was the time that the market was absolutely exploding. So this was the time that the Florida market was absolutely 100% exploding. And so I went down there, me and my dad, we went down there to, fix the property up, paint it and whatnot, so that I could, put it right back up onto the market and sell it. So me and my dad did that for about 2 weeks or whatnot, and I got to get off this exit. So we went down there for about 2 weeks, fixed it up or whatnot. I put a for sale by owner sign in the yard, and literally as soon as I put that for sale by owner sign in the yard, bam, I had like 40 people knocking down my door for this property. Now remember, I didn't like real estate at this point. It was just to the days to where, I bought that property retail, and I put it up on the market for like $130,000. And I had 40 people knocking down my door because the market was so hot back then. And then what ended up going down was I sold that property for sale by owner. So I sold that property for sale by owner, and I got a $55,000 check. Okay, so I got a $55,000 check off of it, and now at this point I was 19 years old with a $55,000 check in my hand. Now, needless to say, I did not save any of that money, and I didn't go and invest it like I should have. However, I was smart enough at that time to really analyze, how I made that $55,000. And, I got really addicted to real estate at that point. Then I started grabbing onto every single course that I possibly could, because I didn't know really how I did it. And now I'm just looking back at it, it was market appreciation. However, I started grabbing every single real estate course that I possibly could. And I just started learning everything that I could. And I got a mentor. And that mentor was to help me, get where I needed to go into the real estate business. So from there on, I started flipping some homes and started making a little bit more money. And that's kind of how it all started for me. So if anybody has any type of questions for me, I'd love to know your comments on the blog right here. I'd love to know your comments. And the best thing that I can tell you is that if you're new and getting into real estate, I didn't have money at that point. I didn't have money, at that point. Here's a cool, I'm at an Air Force base, by the way. But I didn't have money at that point. But what I did have is I had the determination to go through and make something big happen. And fast forward to now, I didn't really make money for the first 8 years that I was into the real estate business because I didn't have any business systems or anything like that. And now my businesses has exploded. Every single one of them have absolutely exploded, because the very first thing that I do whenever I get into a company, whenever I start a new company, is I never envision myself into that company ever. So that is the very thing that I did for 8 years that I went wrong on, was I always envisioned myself into that company, whether it's, in customer support, answering emails, rehabbing the actual houses, doing all that different jazz. I always envisioned myself in it, doing all the marketing myself, marketing the properties, building the buyers list, all that stuff. I always envisioned myself into the company myself, and now I never do. And I own a lot of different businesses, a lot of businesses that you probably wouldn't even know about that I own. and I never ever once have envisioned myself in one of those companies, ever. So that is the best thing that I can tell you, is that you need to get a mentor, okay, for sure. You always need to have a mentor, and always have that determination. Nothing's ever going to be given to you. If you ever thought that you're going to buy a real estate product or something like that is literally just going to put money into your mailbox, you can just push a button, and just put money into your mailbox, you probably figured out by now that that's just never going to happen. You do have to put a little effort, involved with everything that you do. Now, I've automated things as much as I possibly can, but, I'd sit here and be lying to you if I said, do I work 100% on the business? No, I still do work about 10% inside of, all of my different companies. However, that 90%, I'm able to work on the businesses now that I have the systems, and that's how my businesses have exploded. So the best thing that I can tell you is focus on systems into your business, get a mentor. We have mentors, we have coaching programs available here. I've got some great systems that you can literally just plug and play and, make a lot of money with as well, that definitely work. So you got to have that dedication, you have to have that determination to make it work. If you never worry about money, money finds the deals. The deals find the money, basically. You find a deal and then you can find the money. Hell, I found money on that house and it was retail. That was a retail house, and I found a private lender to lend me money on it at the age of 17 years old at that point, and that was just absolutely ridiculous. I had no clue what I was doing. Once I made that money, man, I got hooked. So just wanted to shoot that system shot today and kind of show you kind of where I started this whole thing at, and how I had no clue what I was doing, and then where I'm at now. Obviously you've probably been following me, see where I'm at now. So that's that, guys. I can definitely tell you it's been a rocky road, but I can also tell you that it's been one hell of a ride, and now we're smooth sailing. So having a lot of fun into the business and couldn't be happier. So if you guys got any questions, I'd love to know your comments on the blog. Just shoot them right down here, and always know that I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I will do absolutely anything in my power to be able to help out any of you guys. That's just what I do. I want to make you successful. So I came from nothing, and now I've been very successful, and I would love to do the same thing for you. So if you got any questions, let me know, and I'm out. See you guys.